welcome to ERi-TV Evening News. Today is Thursday, 16th of May 2024. Here are stories making headlines. Independence Day celebration in Sydney, Australia. Public diplomacy activities by diaspora nationals. U.S. to send additional $2 billion in Ukraine aid. Iran summons Australian diplomat over illegal and justified sanctions. Nationals in Sydney, Australia celebrated the 33rd Independence Day anniversary with patriotic zeal on 11th of May under the theme Peace Anchored on Resilience. Speaking at the celebratory event, Mr. Mahari Takhaste charged the affair at the Eritrean Embassy in Australia and New Zealand elaborated on the deep meaning and significant sacrifices made for independence. He emphasized the responsibility that the current stage places on every citizen. He also called for strengthening organizational capacity and increasing participation in national affairs with particular attention to organizing the youth. Mr. Samson Emmanuel, chairman of the Eritrean community in Sydney, and Mr. Tseggai Hagos, chairman of the Holiday Coordinating Committee, delivered message reflecting on the significance of the day. They commended those who contributed to the vibrant celebratory events. The event featured cultural and artistic programs that illustrated the theme of the day. Certificates of recognition were also awarded to those who have diligently served the community for a long time and others. Eritrean nationals in the Republic of South Sudan, Germany, Sweden, and Italy have conducted public diplomatic activities. According to reports, nationals in the Republic of South Sudan celebrated the 33rd Independence Day anniversary on 11th of May in Juba under the theme Peace Anchored on Resilience. At the celebratory event, which included head of Consular Affairs National Association, staff of the embassy, community members, as well as teachers and students, football competitions between 8 teams were held. Mr. Tseggai Mahari, head of the Consular Affairs, stated that preserving the independence, which was achieved through heavy sacrifice and doubling effort for national development, is the responsibility of every citizen. In a similar spirit, the Swedish branch of the National Association of Eritrean War Disabled Veterans commemorated the 30th anniversary of the association's establishment under the theme War Disabled Veterans, Our National Pride. The event was attended by Mr. Fisahaye Tesfa Mikael, Deputy Chairman of the National Association, and Mr. Muhammad Ali Muhammad Said, Head of the Public and Community Affairs of the Association. At the event, Mr. Takhaste Fisahaye, Chairman of the Association branch, noted that the branch was established in 1994 by interested war disabled veterans and now has sub-branches across Sweden. He added that the branch, in cooperation with partners, has extended material support with 100 million kroner to support war-disabled veterans in the country. In a message, Mrs. Luul Gabraab, Minister of Labour and Social Welfare, praised the support extended by the Swedish branch, acknowledging its care toward war-disabled veterans and commending the association branch and its partners. The National Association of Eritreans in Germany also conducted its annual activity assessment meeting, attended by representatives from various cities across Germany. The National Association of Eritreans in Germany incorporates sub-associations in 26 German cities. Reports also indicated that the German branch of the National Union of Eritrean Women contributed about 42,000 euros in support of the National Association of Eritrean War Disabled Veterans. Similarly, heads and staff members of Consular Affairs in European countries held an activity assessment meeting from 10th to 12th of May in Milan, Italy. The objective of this meeting was included participants from Italy, Switzerland, Germany, the Netherlands, Sweden, and Great Britain, was to ensure effective and timely consular service for nationals. Youth Workers and Students Organization Week was enthusiastically conducted in Mahmimet, Qirora subzone from 7th to 10th of May. Mr. Saleh Mohammed Osman, head of the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students branch in the subzone, stated that the objective of the event, which included cultural and artistic competitions, was to strengthen the unity and nationalism among the youth, preserve societal values, and create a platform for exchanging experience among the youth. He also praised the strong participation of students, youth workers, partners, and teachers in the program. Mr. Suleiman Yusuf, head of the Political and Organizational Affairs of the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students in the Northern Red Sea region, remarked that the program was a continuation of effort to nurture competent youth in all aspects and called for its sustainability. Mr. Idris Ali, administrator of the subzone, commended the successful organization of the event and expressed readiness to support the union branch in all its future endeavors. We are live on ERi-TV. Stay tuned for international news. The United States will provide an additional $2 billion in aid to Ukraine, Secretary of State Antony Blinken said yesterday during a press conference in Kiev with Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba. The foreign military financing will be used not only for purchasing weapons from the U.S., but also by Ukraine as it invests in manufacturing its own machinery and weapons, Blinken said. Ukraine will also use some of the funding to purchase weapons from other countries, he said. All of this in particular as we think about the defense industrial base builds on an incredible spirit of innovation, of ingenuity or entrepreneurship that we see here in Ukraine, added Blinken. The deal for the latest aid comes as Russian forces increase their assaults along the front lines in northern and eastern Ukraine. Blinken yesterday said the United States is rushing much of the military aid in $60 billion package President Joe Biden approved in April. The $60 billion supplemental we know is coming at a critical time, he said. Ukraine is facing this renewed brutal Russian onslaught, and we see again senseless strikes on civilians and residential buildings. Iran's foreign ministry spokesman Nasser Kanani decreed the silence of Australia and its allies in the face of Israel's violation of international law and its recent attack on the Iranian diplomatic premise in Syria. He went on to add that such silence proves the double-standard approach adopted by Australia and its allies to development in West Asia. Australia and its partners remained silent regarding the aggressive action in violation of international law and human rights by the Zionist regime in attacking the diplomatic headquarters of the Islamic Republic of Iran, the spokesman pointed out. Kanani stressed that such an approach only encourages Israel to further violate international law and commit more war crimes. Earlier on Tuesday, the European Union also expanded its sanction regime to target Iran's defensive missile program. The European Council, a body that defines the EU's overall political direction and priorities, said in a statement on its website that the sanctions regime on Iran had been expanded beyond current restrictions on the country's drone production capabilities to also cover its missile program. Tehran has said that its mid-April military operation against Israel was a legitimate response to the Israeli regime's attack on Iran's consulate in Syria's Damascus on April 1st. Before we go, we have a quick recap of the top stories. Independence Day celebrated in Sydney, Australia. Public diplomacy activities by diaspora nationals. U.S. to send additional $2 billion in Ukraine aid. Iran summons Australian diplomat over illegal and justified sanctions. And that wraps up our news broadcast for now. Thank you for watching.